Attention. Go.
So it's the Princess Royal Challenge Cup, an event that starts today, and we have Helen Wake from City of Oxford Rowing Club on your left, who's going up against Paige Badenhorst of the Republic of South Africa on your right. Both very experienced, they've raced quite a bit, including on this water, and quite an interesting matchup.
Yeah, it feels almost like a bit of deja vu for what we saw at the Diamonds, with an experienced international up against a local lightweight that's come through the qualifiers. And with Hazel Wake there on the left-hand side of the picture, just behind the umpire's boat. Paige Badenhorst, the South African, who certainly used to racing here in the UK. Not necessarily at Henley. This is her debut at the regatta, as far as information that we've got. But did row in the winning Cambridge boat in 2022.
Correct, yes. So, yeah, used to rowing in eights and in singles. She was in the Paris Olympic Games as well. So, yeah, a lot of experience of different events, racing internationally, racing in the boat race, and bringing all of that experience here in her match-up against Hazel Wake. And so we see Paige really leading out now. You know, Hazel's a lightweight, and on a day like this and on this water, sometimes that bit of extra power that Paige has got is going to help you in this boat, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So South Africans with a reasonably good history at the regatta. Unfortunately, we saw the men's pair go out in a really good race this morning, but have had success in the small boats in the past. We saw, I think Lambert won the Diamonds in 2012 before moving to GB, and Goblets have gone the way of South Africa a number of times, 4 times in the early 2000s.
I was looking up around some information around South African rowing earlier, and I love, there was a beautiful quote from Dato Makina, the head under-23 national coach, who said, "Without other people, you'll never go rowing. We all have a part to play, no matter how small you think it is." And I thought, what a beautiful phrase. And, you know, even if you're in a single scull, it's the same applies, right? This is a team sport. They'll have a team of people behind them, helping them get there. And, you know, Paige is doing a fantastic job. So Hazel went to Yarm School to row there. She's been rowing with the Oxford University Women's Lightweight crew. She's competed at the British Indoor Rowing Champs, the World Indoor Rowing Champs. Last year she was in the lightweight single at the European Universities Rowing Champs. And so a lot of experience, but a little underpowered for this race today.
Yeah, she has she's raced here before, was beaten by Freya Keto in 2023, who's now a part of the GB sculling squad, so experience on the course. But as we often see in these early rounds of the small boats, we do get the more domestic competitors who have come through qualifiers, and that's the goal, is to qualify for the main event. And especially with them starting later on in the regatta, you get a run down the course on Henley Thursday in front of a very busy stewards enclosure.
Lovely overhead shot there of Paige Badenhorst, who is able to look back and watch her competitor, and that gives her a chance to get used to racing on this water. It's probably the toughest boat class in terms of handling the poppily water, because it's the slowest boat class, so you can get disrupted more. Although, of course, you've only got yourself to manage, and she's doing a great job there. You can see how wobbly it is, the water underneath her, but she's managing just to kind of really move up and down, nice and straight, you know, having to adjust when the water bounces you across, but pretty even, level strokes, just, you know, laying those down. And then we have a lovely shot of Hazel, also a brilliant lightweight rower, very experienced, and yeah, beautiful stroke going there. Also managing that popply water really, really well.
Yeah, the camera does a great job of flattening it out and making it look a lot easier than it is, but there is so much roll on this water. The booms even contain it a little bit.
Little wobbly stroke there. Yeah, I think, yeah, hope that wasn't us starting to talk about the poppy water. I hope Hazel wasn't tuning into that. She's back on it. She's absolutely back on it. And here we can see the lovely drone shot. Paige Badenhorst is really beautifully leading ahead, and that feels good, because this is going to be a tough event. There's some really, really tough races to come. Really impressive rowing there.
Yep. If all are going to plan, Paige Badenhorst will face off against Frida Nielsen from Denmark, who's been afforded a bye in the first round of this event. A two-time Olympian, the Coxless 4, I believe. And that will certainly be a possibly a tighter matchup than what we've got here. So the conserving the energy here.
I think you know, in any game, it's any sport, it's a mental game, isn't it? And so at this point, she'll be just, you know, breathing, conserving, thinking about building her confidence in what's working, making sure she's really able to get out to length, even when it feels wobbly beneath you, and enjoying. There'll be Cambridge people on the banks cheering for her. There'll be anyone with a link to South Africa cheering for her. And yeah, there'll be a lot of support for her and the work that she's been doing with her coach, Tiago Loureiro. Hazel back on track again after that little wobble. It's looking good, but it feels really difficult, doesn't it, when you're behind and you just know you're being outpowered. You've got to stay focused again. It feels like she's getting thrown around a little more. And then once you start to think about that, that can get in your head a little bit as well. And you've got to just keep focusing on what each stroke, what's the pattern you're looking for, not focusing then on what's happening to the boat.
Yeah, exactly. And at this point, even though she's both scullers are well on their stations, the wash from Paige Badenhorst will start to filter down and just upset the water even more than it already is. This is a good shot that sort of just shows that roll on the water. But yeah, the influence from the leading crew certainly doesn't make things easy when you're this far behind, and that's kind of the only sign of how far ahead the crew is, or the sculler is in front of you. So it is certainly very, very lonely.
And here we see Paige Badenhorst majestically crossing the line first, everything under control, and she'll be pleased with that. She'll be glad to have a run out down the course, for that to be event-free, to have gone well, and she's got something in the tank for tomorrow. And there comes Hazel Wake, who acquitted herself brilliantly for the City of Oxford Rowing Club today, and her Henley Royal finishes for today. A lovely wave across from Paige.